Redshift here, doing my part to shift perceptions out of the pink and into the red. Okay, so today's video...
You heard the man. Today's video is going to be me responding to him yet even another time. That's right. All the way right. Okay, so there are bad days and then there are legendary bad days. This is shaping up to be one of those. Poems. I like your upload. Talking to Redshift. Talking to you, Redshift. I like the daily upload schedule rather than the every other day schedule. And I'll summarize my thoughts on your sacrificing more views for more news, if you will, with the following quote by Henry Ward Beecher. The difference between perseverance and obstinacy is that one comes from a strong will and the other from a strong won't. The downsides of hypermasculinity. Hypermasculinity is a misnomer, sir. It ought to be called matriarchal masculinity because of its exaggerated and intentional, and it's the intentional part. If you look up hypermasculinity, if you look up what it means, it's the intentional part of, and the exaggerated part, emphasis on physical strength, aggression, and sexuality. Those being a lopsided character of masculinity from a strictly feminine perspective. Don't just take my word for it. In the spirit of the discontinued television series, Reading Rainbow. Go ahead and read it for yourself. Quiet down, Lady of Twilight, I'm talking. Briefault's Law is in effect, and the commentary on the works of Robert Briefault in the Wikipedia entry for his name reads as follows. In 1930, H.L. McCracken wrote the following in his treatise of the gods. Primitive society, like many savage societies of our own time, was strictly matriarchal. The mother was the head of the family. What masculine authority there was resided in the mother's brother. He was the man of the family, and to him the children yielded respect and obedience. Their father was at best simply a pleasant friend who fed them and played with them, and at worst he was an indecent loafer who sponged on the mother. They belonged not to his family, but to their mother's family. As they grew up, they joined their uncle's group of hunters, not their father's. This matriarchal organization of the primitive tribe, though it finds obvious evidential support in the habits of higher animals, has been questioned by many anthropologists, but one of them, of late, Briefault, demonstrated its high probability in 3 immense volumes. The Mothers, a study of the origins of sentiments and institutions. The simplification backlash. You are all kinds of correct about women causing the historical uptick in simpering men, and as Briefault's Law is in effect, and thus the female and not the male sets the standards for relationship acceptance and sexual selection. Women have long since commoditized men as wallets with fists, but men have a self-imposed honor culture, so I don't think that that men treat women the way that women say that we treat them and the way that they see us, which is namely as objects. Okay, so I believe that women are engaging in projective or in psychological projection, and if you look up what's called projective identification, it's I think this lady named Melanie Klein's take on Freud's projection, and it's basically like, oh, if you applied projection strictly to relationships, that's what it is. So in classic womanly fashion, she just stole something from a man, applied it to relationships, and called it her own thing. But it makes sense because women come up with that because women do it the most. Like, they're not even trying to not project onto us because they're like, ooh, they need us, so we can just scapegoat scapegoat no tomorrow. And they treat us like objects. Bam. Women always like it when I treat them poorly, and when I look down on them or correct them, put them in their place. But I'm a Christian man and I won't fornicate with them, and I gain only marginal pleasure from putting women in their place. They enjoy it far more than I do. I even stopped flipping them off because I was just like, whatever. Why antagonize them and try to get in a fight? They like it. So you guys, anybody listen to this probably knows that. You know, even if you've never heard that before, you just now were like, yeah, pretty much. I mean, a child pretty much can catch that. Traumatizing or boring. Women have long since called going to university trying to get their Mr. degree, which is a euphemism for making the highest possible hypergamous mate selection of a wealthy man. The implication being that she won't actually go to work and use the degree that she gained, but rather she will drop out of the workforce entirely and go part-time when she has her first child or by the time she turns 30 years of age, respectively. I think that marital rape was legal in the biblical account and times, and only when both parties agreed was a temporary sexual abstinence taken up. However, with false accusations, no-fault divorce, lifetime alimony, only men registering for selective service, only Caucasian men not receiving affirmative action, which I love to say, and things like the Duluth model of power and control, and the Violence Against Women Act, women have usurped authority over men in an unbiblical celebration, allowing Eve's curse to run amok, which makes Adam's curse, which was economic and spiritual, makes Adam's curse twice as heavy because it has to take away from women's curse by force. I thought that your characterization of women's internal dialogue near the beginning of this same video was very funny. You were all like, they would be thinking, oh, men are doing this and thus we should do that. So they will wipe us up and give us children. Yet women really think more like this. Me. You owe me the money and housing, even if I never sleep with you again. I'm the princess and I have the babies and I have the sex. I'm worth it, so gimme mine. Mine, gimme. I want everything and you have to gimme mine. My everything always. Also, that's what I think they think like. Also, women caterwauling to cucks for selective service immunity with voting privileges, double the size and scope of government. They love the Democrat Party socialists, prohibition, anti-male laws like Hermesman versus Sayre, marital rape laws, and so on. Ergo, the government and elites are a problem, and women are the problem. To Mariah, I thought this one was pretty funny. I mean, I spent a lot of time on it, considering that it was only 11 seconds, but it was pretty awesome. To Mariah, my dad once threatened to knife rape me. Okay, he thought that was clever, but he was too cowardly to give it a try, probably because I would have killed him. I mean, I'm like basically a killing machine. Like, I mean, you could like pile armed men on me and I'll just wax them all. I mean, like, and literally that's happened. I mean, I've gotten in an ice fight. Go see, what was that? Street Fighter Story Time, Vega Crew. Talking about my ice fight with my, where my second youngest brother Guile. Yeah, that was pretty brutal. But okay, yeah, so bring it, right? But anyway, he wouldn't do that because he's a coward. But, because why you don't say it and then not do it? You break your word, you're not a real man. To me, a real man is a man who keeps his word and has virtue. See, because I'm a Christian. So I wonder why you chose a specific knife brand or a fairly high quality knife. So I looked it up and I was like, dude, that's a really nice knife. That's one of those can cut a car door in half and then still slice bread, never gets dull. It's like basically a miniature ninja sword, and you're wasting it on that. I wouldn't, what? Like, okay, and then I thought about it for a second and I realized, oh, you're not using the knife. You told her to go get that kind of knife and use it on herself. So then I thought, oh, hey, so he's getting her to spend extra. You know, like screwing her twice or whatever. I thought that was funny because I was like, he couldn't just pick old trusty rusty butter knife. Nah, he had to make her spend like $400 on one knife. So I thought that was pretty awesome. And everyone, oh yeah, and okay. And then, what was it? You got 2 different recommendations to delete the 13-second video. 13 seconds, 2 different recommendations, all right? So that's better than one recommendation to delete this video every 7 seconds, right? So I thought that was awesome. Congratulations on rustling the jimmies, okay? I saw what's her name in the comment section talking about, and I called her a dark-eyed clone, but anyway, I saw her talking about, drama, and I was just thinking to myself, like, yeah, you like it. Like, he's way more popular than you like it. So anyway, I thought that was awesome, because she probably never had anybody talk to her like that. you know. Okay, so I thought that was just straight up awesome. And I told her, I did a breakdown of her name and showed how she's like a good likelihood that she's Muslim, even though she has an off-brand name. And then I went into the cousin marriage in Islam Wikipedia entry and showed how the likelihood of her being inbred is over half, right? And like I say, I called her a dark-eyed clone. And I think I might even have went into the current world slavery map and how Muslims have like the vast majority of the slaves. So basically, I'm like, you're a dark-eyed clone, you're a slave driver, and you're inbred, right? And I was like, there's you some drama. But okay, I'm Forgotten Furian. I bow to no man. If you think that Eric the Redshift is a YouTube conquistador, then go ahead and kill the like button. If your code name is Nemesisy and you hate all of my videos, then caress the dislike button, like Daddy likes. Peace. I mean war.
Whoa, what the hell? Oh God, oh no. What did you guys just do?
What did who? Wait, what am I saying?
Were either of you guys uncertain about anything just now?
Oh man, I don't feel good. Am I talking right now? I think so. Wait, who said that?
Alright, both of you, just don't move, don't speak, don't think. I have to check something.
I'm gonna help Grandpa.
What do you mean you're gonna help him?
I can help too.
What's
happening,
Rick?
Grandpa?
Shut up. Oh crap, are you kidding me? 2 dots? This never needs to be more than 1 dot. The 2 of you made us uncertain.
What are you talking about?
English?
Our time is fractured. You two somehow created a feedback loop of uncertainty that split our reality into 2 equally possible impossibilities. We're exactly like a man capable of sustaining a platonic friendship with an attractive female co-worker. We're entirely hypothetical.
But I thought there were infinite timelines.
We're not on any timeline, dummy. Look.
Oh my God!
Are those cats?
I assume they're Schrodinger's cats. Actually, I assume they both are and aren't, just like us.
Is the world gone? Where are Mom and Dad?
Mom and Dad? Get your head out of your family's ass. The 3 of us are lost in a timeless oblivion. Your parents get to exist. They're probably living it up in some pointless grounded story about their marriage. This is why you don't freeze time, you